In this video, we will cover the equipment that is necessary to create RTI surfaces. Nearly any camera will work for this as long as you can turn off the autofocus and change settings manually, like ISO, shutter speed, etc. It's also important that you can attach triggers to the camera, both for shutter release and for triggering other devices. In this case, we're using a Canon 7D. There is no correct lens for RTI, but there are a number of factors that must be taken into account when choosing which lens to use. Firstly, the lens needs to be able to shoot with autofocus and any image stabilization turned off, as otherwise your photo shoots will be ruined if the lens tries to refocus. Secondly, it needs to be able to shoot within an aperture range of f11 to f5.6 in order to get a good depth of field and image sharpness. Special lenses like fisheye lenses are not suitable for this work, but it is possible to use macro lenses and even microscope lenses. To create the angled lighting, a flash is used. We are using a Canon Speedlight 430EX. Some flash guns come with a diffuser attached, but you should not use this as you want to be able to pinpoint where the light is coming from. Ideally, you will be able to control the level of light generated for each flash. It is also possible to have a light that is constantly on, but it needs to be controllable in terms of brightness, else the photographs will be overexposed. RTI requires at least one sturdy tripod. For horizontal RTIs, which are on the ground or lying flat, their tripod head needs to be able to be turned upside down. It is also helpful if the tripod legs can be spread further apart than standard. When creating a horizontal RTI, you will also need to be able to angle the tripod head to 90 degrees so that the camera faces downwards. It is also wise to have a monopod to attach the flash to, as this makes it easier to manoeuvre. We use a stick and string to maintain the same distance of the flash from the centre of the subject. RTI photography requires a red or black reflective surface. In this case we are using snooker balls. It's also possible to use marbles or other shiny surfaces as long as they are black and red, smooth, and are able to reflect light effectively. We glue bolts to the bottom of our spheres as this makes them easier to position. It also gives us the possibility to attach them to microphone booms. When the light from the flash is photographed, it displays a highlight in the direction of the light source. This is how the software can determine from which angle the photograph is taken. In order to take photographs and trigger the camera and flash simultaneously, two sets of transmitter and receiver triggers are required. One receiver goes to the camera, and a transmitter is connected to the hot shoe on the top of the camera, which sends a signal to the receiver on the flash. The transmitter that starts off the whole process is held by the person monitoring the camera, or by the flash operator if working alone. In this video, we have covered the basics of the equipment required to create the photographs for an RTI. This included cameras, lenses, tripods and monopods, flashes, triggers and reflective spheres. The next video will show how this is set up.